Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sophia, and today we'll be talking about Magha Nakshatra. This is one of my very favorite nakshatras because as much power as there is in this constellation, it does talk about surrender and makes for a very interesting mix of how these energies flow. So let's get deeper and understand what Magha Nakshatra is all about. Located at 0 degrees 0 minutes and 13 degrees 20 minutes of Leo, Magha is the second of Ketu's nakshatras. Here the zodiac resets. The simulation matures into its next stage of evolution, and the wheel of time rolls on. Ketu remains the most mysterious of all planets in our solar system. But we know that it's not a planet at all. It is the south node of the moon and a point in space that brings about eclipses. But most importantly, it is the significator of liberation from this material world. It's also the account keeper of our past lives and represents flags that were planted lifetimes ago. Stricter than Saturn, yes, it is indeed stricter than Saturn, and a bitter enemy to the sun and moon, one cannot pacify Ketu with remedies, because you cannot fight reptilian shadows without heads. You can't negotiate with them. Under the influence of Ketu, man, woman, child, god, or devil, none have power. So let's understand the ancestral significance of Magha. Because Magha is the nakshatra of ancestors. Ruled by Ketu, the deities are the Pitris, who are the keeper of lineages. The very fabric of your DNA is encoded with the information passed down through generations of simulations of your forefathers. A native influenced by Magha is closely scrutinized by the Pitris, because the gods have a vested interest in the soul. Plain and simple, Magha natives are born to clear karma of their ancestors so they may be liberated. This is the energy of unfinished businesses, and taking on the karma of others is no simple task at all. This becomes a classic case of nothing is your fault, but still your responsibility. This is the sort of thing that gurus, in fact, do for their disciples, because correcting someone else's karma is a great penance and also a catalyst for the greatest blessings. But a Magha individual is not a guru, and the burden of this task is rather daunting. And so the Pitris follow this individual around like ghosts, never relenting, ever hungry for their ultimate prize. But Magha is not a downtrodden nakshatra. Oh no, it's just the opposite. Because what reminds you of lineages that have planted flags all across the globe? Monarchies. Yep. Magha is the ancestral throne. It represents fame, power, leadership, elitism, kings, queens, and their progeny. It deals with genetics, biomedicine, and inheritances. Magha is entirely located in the zodiac of Leo, and the lion is the king of the jungle, representing Leo. So it deals with ego, it deals with leadership, and also immense wealth. Let's understand the characteristics of Magha natives. Anyone with Magha prominent in their chart will be attracted to power, and those seeking power will be attracted to them. Others look to these individuals for providing security and protection. They have an almost irresistible preoccupation with finding recognition in the world, so they may leave a legacy behind. But their obsession with the acquisition of status separates them from the masses. And even though the natives are attracted to their ancestry, this can be highly isolating. Because the ones at the top, at leadership positions, are often alone. And yet, leadership is considered to be a gift given by the Pitris themselves. And what do the Pitris want in return? You see, the Pitris are clever gods because they understand that nothing shiny has ever been free of cost. A Magha individual can leave generations worthy of fame, but first, they must bend over backwards to the will of those who came before them. This is where we talk about surrender, because these individuals must surrender to the failures of their forefathers. You may not want to judge these thrones by their gold, for thus forms a diabolical combination of liberation through imprisonment. It's like saying that this is not your party, but you're going to be paying for it anyway. Let's understand the nature of leadership in Magha, because understanding a Magha individual can in fact take you on meandering paths through the forest. Maghans are natural-born leaders with infinite charisma and commanding presence, a quality they mastered in previous lifetimes. The house placement of Magha will determine where their karma is stored and also where they will accomplish the most amount of fame. But kings, even though not elected, only remain in power through the approval of the masses. So a Magha individual is crafty. On the road to success, they align themselves with just enough influence to intimidate those on the steps below them. No one messes with the bully's friend in the playground. Let's understand a little bit about the professional inclinations of Magha. Entrepreneurship, politics, management are extremely attractive to these individuals. They can also be generous and caring when they become prominent in their fields. Success does follow generosity. Generosity only follows success. Ketu and the sun's placement in this natal chart will determine Ketu and sun's placement in a natal chart will determine their latent talents. Because lessons will involve dealing with authority, father figures, isolation, and most of all, as we talked about earlier, will deal with surrender. Fathers can be distant in the lives of these individuals, and this causes great emotional turbulence because they are here to correct their failures, the failures of their fathers after all. So why aren't they helping? Because Ketu, or the south node of the moon, is a moksha karaka. Moksha karaka means the significator of liberation. Ketu only cares about the work that you do, not so much about what happens to you. Ketu will detach you from everything, even from the very reason you are alive. So monarchies, as glamorous as they are, may not be as fun as you think. And as counterintuitive as it sounds, letting go is directly proportional to how many blessings are bestowed upon you. And so, after all the fame, money, power, and family, anything material that has been amassed, it will start to bore a Magha person to death. This is when their shadows come out roaring. Let's understand their shadows a bit. To succeed in life, Maghans need to be seen publicly. And so this energy is not for the faint of heart. The flip side of their glory is that they have difficulty with big egos. They also have difficulty being vulnerable and relating to people. They can also be critical, snobby, and have unrealistically high standards of people occasionally, resulting in disdain for some and not for others. They can attract a lot of jealousy and can be paranoid about competition, especially as the opposing house to the sun is ruled by Saturn and Rahu, or the north node of the moon. So they become preemptively reactive. This is a ruthless nakshatra, and individuals like to crush their enemies, lest they are challenged. If they sense even a hint of disloyalty in their companions, they will not continue with you. Yet, because Leo is a fixed sign, they can hang on just too long. What they fail to understand is that the Pitris are always watching over them. Like I said earlier, much like ghosts. The Maghans are never alone in their journey. But the blessings come in the form of the South Node or Ketu. This is important to remember. Surrender, Ketu says, and the miracles will follow at breakneck speeds. Remember that the Pitris want to clear their karmas. That is why they're following you around. And they want to clear it fast because they've been stuck in some sort of purgatory. So the miracles they bestow upon you are preordained. All they want from you is to let go of control. Why hang on to what is not working? So, lighting a lamp on a new moon night is a great way to honor your ancestors and connect with the energies of the Pitris. On new moon night, the veil between our realm and the other realm is quite thin, and this is where you can connect with them fast. Let's now understand the secrets of Regulus, the fixed star associated with the Magha Nakshatra. It is 79 light years away from us, as one of the royal stars of Persia. This is one of the great historical stars of the sky. The Persians saw it as the watcher in the north, which was linked to their mythical king Feridun, who once, in their mythology, ruled the entire known world. He was a good and great king whose origins were like Zeus, who was raised apart from his family, suckled on a sacred cow, and in adulthood claimed the throne via a great battle. He is an image also very much like Osiris in Egyptian mythology, teaching, bringing peace and civilization, and giving laws to his people. In his old age, he decided to divide his kingdom among his 3 sons. The 2 oldest fell upon and murdered their younger brother to take his lands, and this act so grieved Feridun that he took revenge upon his 2 elder sons. The resulting battle was the end of his kingdom and the end of the golden days of Feridun. Let's now understand the Regulan characteristics. Feline in origin, Regulans are some of the nicest beings in the galaxy, if you can believe it. They understand suffering is part of their karma, so they try to relieve others of their plight. They become great writers, artists, creators, educators, and for the sole purpose of elevating others. They are often found to be regal in their manner and attract a lot of attention even without trying. Yet, they are often loners. You will not find them socializing as much as you think. They can also be distant lovers and not express their emotions very easily. From having so much given to them early on, they learn quickly to enjoy the simpler pleasures of life. Regulans want to win battles without needing to fight at all. They are in a business of creating an illusion of power. And why? Why is that? Because K2 is the south node of the moon, part of that illusion. Remember, it creates eclipses. And the greatest enemy of a Markan individual on the battlefield is revenge. If they stoop to lower energies, failure is sure to follow. Their success in life lies in their generosity of spirit. The Pitris only reward those who are righteous. After all, this power was given to the native. They didn't have to do anything to earn it. So weapons wielded for the sake of protection of dharma will be awarded. This is where we talk about the paths to liberation. Because the greatest secret to the success of a Magha individual lies in their ability to isolate themselves voluntarily from the world. K2, the great liberator, loves this. Did you know that the Pitris have the support of the great Yamraj? Yamraj is the lord of death himself, and he spares no one on this earth plane. This is a friendship of poetic irony. One can only leave a legacy through death. So creating a mini version of death experience on planet Earth will serve these individuals well. And by that, what I really mean is creating ego death. Isolation is key here. This will bring self-realization, and so when the individual's karma is finished, there will be no need for another birth. This vicious circle of karma will close and everyone will be liberated together. So this was my podcast on Magha. I hope you found this very interesting. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.